Alright guys, this is Filter Starcraft. I'm back with episode 2 of my Bronze to Masters League series. For this particular episode, what I'll be doing is just playing about 3 games. All I'm going to do is follow the lesson that I kind of tried to teach in the first part, which is I want to get to 50 SCVs by 10 minutes and I want to take my natural by 3:45. That's all I'm going to try to do in these games. Just a quick overview again for the rules. Not allowed to scout, so no scouting. Not allowed to micro, so no micro, pretty simple. I can't stutter step or any of that stuff. Not allowed to take a third. And the reason for that is there's a specific reason and way to take a third, right timings to take a third, that kind of stuff that I haven't gone into yet, so no point in taking a third. Not allowed to tech. That means I'm going to be relying on a lot of barracks and a lot of marines because I'm not taking gas. At the end of, well, not at the end, but at 10 minutes for each game, what I'm going to do is just quickly overview kind of how I did for making SCVs. So what I'll do is I'll put a quick overlay up that'll show how many SCVs I had at 10 minutes, so it'll be fairly straightforward, fairly simple, easy to follow. Hopefully I win the games. If I don't, I lose something cheesy, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to improve my fundamentals. Same as you guys. So, for anybody wondering, I'm a Masters Terran. A regular count, this counts in Bronze League, so these games should be fairly easy to win with just really basic, straightforward tactics. So, yeah, my opponent's Zerg, I'm walling the same way I would against anybody else. Nothing too specific about that. Just making sure I'm getting my SCVs up. Checking the progress of that as much as I can. You're noticing I'm probably spamming a lot. That's what I do, it's how I play, not a big deal. You can spam if you want, doesn't really matter. The reason I do it is because it allows me just keep my hands warm, play a little better, stay sharp for the whole game. Let's throw that barracks down, make sure that guy goes back to scouting, or mining, sorry.
Not enough minerals.
Get our barracks up. Gonna go finish my wall in here and make sure no really early shenanigans get to me. Something like 6 pool hits at about 230, so safe against that. But that's not what I'm focusing on. Again, I'm not too concerned stuff happens, it's not a big deal. Just making workers. Barracks is going to be done in a second here. And looks like one of my SCVs spawned on the wrong side. Let's get a marine out. And we'll start that orbital right away. This is where things start to get a little more complicated. Once that orbital is 85% done or so, I'm going to be sending off an SCV to make my natural. And that should give me the 3:45 time I'm looking for, without being too early. So, let's grab an SCV. Again, I'm going to be needing to make an SCV, and I don't need to make the marine because I can get that down. And let's look at my marine out. Look at that. Actually, 3:39, so a little bit early. I probably missed an SCV. The next thing I'm going to need is another supply depot. Missing an SCV. That's not good. And I'm going to need a bunker. So, let's get the bunker right there. Haven't seen anything from my opponent yet. No idea what he's doing. If he is doing any kind of really early roach rush shenanigans, I'm going to be able to notice that, pick it up.
Not enough minerals.
A little bit too early. Send him back. And pull him again. Let's get that third barracks up here. Your barracks in that bunker should have no difficulty holding that. Once my natural's up, I'm going to start walling that off so that nothing can get to me.
Not enough energy.
Again, normally I'd be taking gas, but this particular situation there's no point. Now I'm ready to transfer. I'm going to grab number of SCVs I want, drop my mule, and start my orbital. I'm good to go. Let's throw the marines in the bunker. And we're going to start finishing off that wall at the front there. start another Marine. Cancel one because I got too many queued up. And we're actually going to throw down another barracks, start another Marine. Natural is going to finish up here. Drop the mule, start the SCV. Going to start 2 SCVs at once, try to keep our queue like that. Queuing is bad. But if I'm just queuing up SCVs at 2 to make sure I'm always making one, that's okay.
Not enough minerals.
For another bunker, so let's throw one down. Not quite ready for mule. There we go. Throw me another mule down. Let's make sure this guy is building depots. Completely finish that wall off here. Again, I'm constantly adding units to my hotkeys, adding all my new barracks when I build my hotkeys. That just kind of helps keep everything organized. Worst thing you can do is have a bunch of new production facilities you built and they're not on the hotkeys, so they don't do anything. If you ever experienced that, it's not a fun feeling. We're going to start throwing some Marines over there so he doesn't see how many I have. Yeah. Make another barracks here. And SB is constant. Got another mule. Try to get all your mules down on your natural if you can. Your main's the most defensive place you're going to have. So, what you want to do is kind of keep your main as mule free as possible. The more mules you can drop elsewhere, the better. You have to start building. We're going to go 3 at a time here with depots just to make sure we don't run out of supply. As long as I don't run out of supply, I'm going to be okay here. Pile of barracks up right now. We're looking at 9. That's basically constant production. There's a supply block. That's not good. I don't need to do a supply drop call down. If you're playing and you do supply block like that, you need to do a call down. Don't worry about it. So what I'm going to do here is, I actually don't know where he is, so I'm going to send out 2 Marines, hopefully find him. I don't consider this scouting, so I'm not going to get any information, and it's 9 minutes into the game, so at this point it doesn't really matter. And we're closing in on 10 minutes here. Those depots are finishing up. Let's get some more down. That's all I'm going to be able to get down. Well, I can squeeze in one more. And hopefully we'll find him here, so we push out to 10 minutes. Alright, there he is. No idea what he has, but he isn't even tempted to scout me, so he doesn't know what I have either. And food count for this game is actually higher than was before at 10 minutes. Time to push out. He's going to attack and just rally all my Marines. Let's put them in a nice big ball and attack. Set my rally point basically for his base. So hopefully all my Marines go there. You can see my money's piling up a little bit. It's okay. Just keep making depots. Throw down an extra couple racks. Make sure we're adding those hotkeys. Again, I'm not stopping SV production even though I'm well over I need to be. I'm just going to attack move and attack move. And we'll see what happens. So watch the battle here. Add those to the queue. And as you can see, need a few links at the front, but that's it. There's nothing you could really do about this attack, so I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'll just attack move to the back of his base here. Okay. No micro, so we're just going to attack move Marines in. And I'm just attacking his mutalisks. And his base is going to be out in a second here. The game should be over. Really, really simple, straightforward first game. Hopefully I wasn't too boring to listen to there. As we can see, this guy is obviously Bronze League, because that's what I'm trying to play against. In terms of Bronze League, he's not terrible. He's got 5 wins. Not really too much I can say about that. But I beat him purely by just making a lot of stuff. Wasn't anything special, there wasn't a whole lot to it. It's just really important to make sure that SCV production is constant. You saw how much money I had. I wasn't doing anything special, I just made SCVs and I was on 2 bases. You don't need to be on 5, 6, 7, 8 bases to get all that money in. So, again, main focus, I got my natural down on time. Not sure what my SCV count was, but we'll take a look at that. Alright, so we got a Protoss this time on Cloud Kingdom, which is one of my favorite maps. A nice World Worker split there. Again, Command Center hotkey to 4. And just spamming away at the start of the game. Let's make sure we wish this guy good luck. It's one thing a lot of people miss or don't pay too much attention to. They just say good luck, have fun. Or they don't. Or they get all ragey when they lose, they don't GG like that last guy never GG'd. If you're having trouble laddering or you get stressed out after you lose a tough game, make sure you GG. If you force yourself to GG, you feel a lot better.
Go ahead, SCV ready. Roger.
Or just make fun of the guy in general. It's not going to work out too well for you.
SCV ready.
So we're just concentrating on our SCVs. Making sure we're taking care of business here. Gonna be ready to wall in a second here. This guy is Protoss, so he could do a bunch of different shenanigans, like 4-gate, whatever. I'm not worried about all that, because in this league, anything he does like that is just not gonna be that good. You may run into the odd guy that has a really good 4-gate. When he does it, kill you? Doesn't matter. We're focusing on our SCP production. So we're just gonna check our 10 minutes, see how well we did. If we have 4-gated and died before then we have 4-gated and died before then. Doesn't matter. GG, find a new game. Not too overly concerned about it. Again, I'm just gonna finish my wall off nice and clean. A lot of people like to do. You see a lot of pro players just kind of fake the supply depot with their barracks building SCV. You can do that if you want to. It does get you a little bit more mining time initially. To me, it doesn't really matter. Some of those small things, it's not very important in the grand scheme of things. At least not until you hit higher level. Even than what I'm at on my other account, so. Yeah. SCV is probably a little premature. So again, once this gets all the way up to about 85%, I'm going to be setting an SCV, I'm going to be throwing down my natural. Okay, there's our first Marine. Still waiting on it. And he's got a Zealot, so throw my natural down in there. I am going to repair that. Just be stupid not to. Let's pull another recipe for repair. So, this particular situation, the guy has put 2 gateways outside my base. Not very nice, but we're gonna hold that no problem. So make sure we get that depot, because that supply depot is gonna be very important. Again, it's not a big deal. I lost 1 Marine. My natural is still gonna go up just fine. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it, so let's go ahead and just grab some SCVs. Send one to repair one side, send the other to repair the other. And as long as we have the repair in time, this attack should be thwarted. And it is, so let's finish the repair, and he left the game. So, that particular circumstance, what we're going to do is take a quick poke at the replay, see the garbage he did, and move on. So you can see he kind of sends that thing right, sends his probe out right away. He's actually doing it a little bit too aggressively. He's got 1 gateway. The way you're supposed to do this is what's called an 11-11 gate, where you make 2 gateways at 11. He did it kind of backwards, so the push wasn't nearly as strong as it should be. Again, because I had the wall in, was able to hold that no problem. So, not really a big deal. Let's see what time I planted that down. Hopefully, I got it down at the right time, because that's probably the most important part here. And I do. I got it down at 3 minutes 40 seconds. I do skip an SCB, which is bad. When it says start up, come on, come on. So, looks like I'm missing an SCB because I'm trying to deal with that. But got my command center down in time and kind of just did my build normally. Nothing too scary about that. So, some people are going to do junk like that. Doesn't really matter. Because I'm not doing any kind of scouting, if he had done that in my base, it would have been really difficult to hold. So, not a big deal. We'll just start up a new game here. Just a really quick note on the last game. Don't feel too bad if you do lose to stuff like that. Again, the guy's just cheesing. He's not getting any better. He'll never be a good player if he can't win with that stuff in Bronze League. So if you do lose to it, just find a new game. Hopefully you don't get the same guy twice in a row. Move on. Another Protoss. One of the new maps, Daybreak. I really enjoy this map. So should be like have fun. Kind of funny actually, the other guy, at least he left without making me play out the game, but
Not enough
and
minerals.
GG or anything, so
Not enough minerals.
whatever.
SCV ready.
Hopefully this guy's a little bit less cheesy.
Not enough minerals.
You're gonna get a lot of that, like, at this level, playing a macro game is really, really tough. So I'm trying to show you a build that's just, it's not even really a build, it's just spend your money and get an expansion. As long as you do that, you're gonna be in great shape. So, just how easily I held that last one. Again, there's no micro on my Marines or anything like that. I wasn't stutter stepping or backing away or anything. I did pull SCBs to repair, but repairing a building is kind of required in this game when you play Terran, so don't be afraid to do that. And
Additional supply.
a barracks started right away here.
Not enough minerals.
There
Not enough.
we go.
Not enough
And
minerals.
we're just gonna rally out our Marines here. And we're gonna make sure we get our wall up here. So let's grab that SCV, walk it over, throw up our one. And hopefully this guy doesn't do any garbage. Not really holding out hope though. Did get the win though, so celebrate that. That is one thing that's really, really important, that when you do win a game, celebrate. You don't win a game every day. It's important. Kind of see a scouting probe poking around. Probably doing some sort of garbage in the back of my base. Wouldn't even be surprised to see the same thing again. But that's okay. Again, normally I would micro that Marine, make sure I kill off the probe. Can't do that, so just make sure we hit our timings here. And that's about good. So it's time to pull an SCB, send them down. Again, we're gonna have to make an SCB and a Marine, so our money's gonna go right back down. But we're gonna have 400, or yeah, 400 for our expansion right on time.
Not enough minerals.
So expansion actually came up at 3:47 from the clock there. A little bit late, but not too big of a deal. What do we have? And it looks like we killed off this probe there. So go ahead and make sure we get a bunker up. Bunker will help keep us safe. Pull some of those Marines back. And start our barracks. And we're gonna get ready to start another barracks here. There we go. Nice and easy. This is kind of the core of any fast expand build by Terran, is that 3 barracks play. So that's where you want to really put the focus. Adding on the extra ones after that is just kind of fluff. Only reason I really do that is because we have the money in this particular build, because we're not doing any kind of text, so may as well. Gonna grab these SCVs. Right, you always want to try to grab them right before. Let's go ahead and put those in the bunker. So, micro stalker out. You got one of my Marines. Don't really care. And we're gonna go ahead and grab 2 extra barracks. Let's have the money for it. Now, that guy's stalker got to my base around 5 minutes. This map, that's pretty reasonable time, so this guy's not too bad. Now we want to start in on our double supply depots. We're going to start getting fairly important here. On a supply block. And let's just make sure the Marines don't run out there. Again, I'm not microing my Marines to pull them, push them forward, or stutter step, pull out of the bunker, or try to go kill the stalker, just leaving him be. Let's grab those. Make sure we got double SCPs. So those 2 barracks are actually a little bit premature. That's something to keep in mind if we're trying to make this a real build. If we're not, we're concerned about when we put our natural down and when we got our SCBs. And I'm just going to wait until 10 minutes here. Go make an attack. So, finish up another double one, or a double supply depot. Yeah. So he's trying to poke again. He's not really going to see anything. Let's put some of the Marines back here so he doesn't see all of them. Just get a stupidly fast Colossus on him. Not really too interested in getting countered.
Not enough energy.
I have 500 Colossus, so we're up to our kind of 9 barracks number, which is nice. Grab 2 more supply depots.
Not enough minerals.
Again, we're not missing SCVs. These are looking good. 16 there. And 20 up there. So we're at 30 something. Just not too bad. Again, our goal is 50 though. Anything less than that, not good enough. So I'm gonna check after each one of these games. So just post an overlay and give a little bit of a voiceover on that. So approaching 9 minutes. It's time to throw down a couple extra barracks. Scan, get the money. Why not? Make sure we're calling down our mules on our natural.
Not enough energy.
Let's grab those barracks. 2 more depots. So, bunch more Marines. Make sure I'm not missing SCBs. Marines, Marines, Marines. So, if he has any kind of splash damage, like fast Colossus or something like that, it's gonna make this pretty rough. But again, I don't really care about that. If I win or lose, doesn't really matter. So, we're at 10 minutes. Time to attack. So, literally attack move. Make sure I'm not missing SCBs. Make sure I'm not missing supply depots. Just rally everything over there. You need to see, it's just over 10 minutes. We got 125 food. Granted, it's all Marines, but whatever. Big train of Marines running up. Let's see what he does. It's mad about cheese or whatever. What's he got? He's got a bunch of stuff. Again, not microing. Throwing on some mules. He's pretty dead. Can't hold it. So we're going to attack to there and attack up to there. Grab another couple supply depots, make sure Marine production's good. Again. No micro. Pull this natural first. You might have tech coming, I don't know. Can't micro up his ramp, I have to attack move, so that's what I'm going to do. You see all my Marines getting stuck trying to attack. Oh, here comes some zealots. Got charged, so Dark Templar is also a possibility. And he left the game. So this guy was actually silver. Alright, so we got another Zerg, this time on Entombed Valley. Let's see how this goes. So, if you watched the first video, you saw me fight a Terran in the first sample game. I'm not going to post that on this because it doesn't make any sense. To do so, watch it in the first video if you really want to. So, it's going to be the third game, this is going to be the last game for this particular series. That last guy was silver, so I want to start moving on to silver based mechanics. We're going to add in a few new things to try out and make sure I keep my measurables from before, so I want to make sure I'm still playing exactly the same as I am now. I'm still getting 50 SPs, still getting my natural at a certain time, but we're going to add a little bit more into that. So I'll throw my barracks down. We're ready to go. So, Estimating workers. Still a little preview on what's going to be in episode 3. That's going to be building groups and then really basic kind of racial branching. So ways to kind of branch out your build on, depending on what race you're playing against. What race I'm playing against doesn't matter for bronze. Doesn't even really matter for silver, but it's good to kind of get a feel for that right away. So, in terms of building groups, I'm going to start talking about things like how many buildings, or what buildings you should have off one base, what buildings have two base, how to kind of get yourself in a position where you're comfortable after you sustain damage or somebody rushes you or something, how to get back to where you need to be to win the game. So, let's go ahead and finish in this wall just in case anything comes early. So, this is a 4-player map, so the chances of a 6 pool are low, but it's still there. People, they get tired at night, sometimes they want to take their chance, see how it goes. So, get ready to start our orbital. There it goes. That's gonna have to let that SCB back in the base, so we'll just lower that depot there. I don't want to send that SCB out to make my new command center, because he can actually get in one mining trip before he goes. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we're trying to kind of play like that. So let's grab an SCB, because we're about 85% done, so that SCB is going to be effective there. I would love to micro over and kill that Overlord, but not allowed to. Hopefully my Marine chases it down. Never know. However, based on the location that Overlord came from, I do know where he is. So it's going to make my life a lot easier. Here comes time to kill him. So the Overlord, the timing of that Overlord is, it came from the top left, in that angle anyway, so I know based on that he's going to be spawning in the top left. Most people will try to sneak the Overlord over here and kind of keep an eye up here. He chose not to do that, which is fine, he's in Bronze League. It's kind of expected sometimes. Not too worried about that. He does, however, know where I am too, so if he wants to execute an attack, now would be a pretty good time to do it. It's a definite possibility. So, let's see what happens from here. I'm just focusing on building my SCBs. And I'm up to my 3 barracks, but you notice every single game, my core looks like this. And even when I play at higher levels, so my core looks like. The reason for that is it just ends up being very solid. So again, I'm going to pull my SCBs out. There they go. We're going to make a couple extra barracks in 1 second here too. So the reason it's a really good core is Marines early game, really good unit if you can get them behind a wall, if you can get them in a bunker, that kind of stuff. They're not so great when they're out in the open with no upgrades, but that's fine. So we're just taking that base there. Putting our 5 barracks up. We're going to start making double supply depots here. So I'm not going to worry too much about walling in. He does know where I am, so we could roll up with a ton of stuff right now, but just based on the level of play I've been facing, I don't think he will. So just make sure, queue up another couple depots. It's okay to kind of double queue your depot like that. It's not perfect, but you'll see pros queue a lot of stuff, like MMA and those guys. They will queue a huge amount of units if they just need to make sure the units get out. So if it's an enhanced battle or whatever, they don't want to be going back to their base, macroing absolutely perfect. They want to make sure they get everything out. So double queuing SCVs is not perfect, but it will help you get a lot out, and you'll start to get a feel for when you need to make those queues. So looks like we make 2 more depots. And it'll stop you from doing this where you have like 10 SCVs queued up and junk like that. So you also know when there's points in your build where you really have to be careful with your funds and stuff like that, where you will keep your SCV queue down. Alright, so let's go ahead and just grab 2 more barracks for the sake of it. Make sure we get our 2 depots down. Again, still got our SCVs going. Make sure we add our new barracks to our hockey, and we're just making units.
Not enough minerals.
So let's spread our marines out, and let's get them all in one hockey. If somebody attacks me and all my units are like that, then I have a much better chance. If all my units are like that, sorry, I have a much better chance of holding the attack. If all my units are in one big clump and they're not on a hockey and I get attacked, I have to go grab them and attack, and sometimes you grab SCVs and stuff you don't want. So you do want to spread your units out so they have a nice concave like that. And don't do it at the expense of missing supply depots or any of that stuff. Not the way you want to play. So go ahead and just keep adding. Let's add a bunch more barracks. Let's make sure we get a bunch more depots. And not missing anything there. So we're at 9:30. And make sure we drop our mules. Try to spread your mules out. The worst thing you can do is mine at one particular patch. Way ahead of the others. That'll actually slow your mine down a lot. So it's something you really don't want to do. So let's go lower all these depots so my SCVs can get around. Okay, so he's got overlord speed there, which means it's on lower tech, and it's actually 10 minutes, so it's time to attack. So let's grab all our marines and go attack him. So I'm going to attack here first and just rally over. And he's probably going to get mad, but that's what it is. Just get a bunch of depots. We'll have those back to work. Oh, so he's got a base there. So what I'm going to do is grab these guys and send them there. And send those guys there. So again, he's not going to be able to stop this probably. Just got too many marines. And let's call down some drops because I don't feel like making any more depots. It has to be stuck. Make a depot. So again, he's pretty much dead. There's nothing you can do. And not doing anything fancy. We're almost 12 minutes into the game, and let's finish off that. And I'm at 165 food at 12 minutes. 166, that's not bad. I already heard about the roaches getting crazy amounts of food. Well, I just got a crazy amount. Alright, so he's got a lot of banelings. Watch this. Just making marines, man. No micro, no splits. We're just making marines. Just keep attack moving in the back of his base. There's nothing you can do about it. Killed a lot of our stuff, but we're still making sure we're making SCVs and things. Looks like you might have a third base, so. I was just kind of waiting for him to leave. If I had stim and split and all that stuff, that would have looked a lot worse for him. But so he's kind of trying to do too much at once. He's got a spire and made a bunch of banelings. Again, he's making banelings. Banelings kind of marine, right? But so I know he's got a base up there. Not too worried about it. Attacking with that. You can kind of see he's got all text structures. You don't want to do that if you're Zerg. There's no point. Again, not taking a third. Might run out of money here, but again, a whole bunch of stuff. My Marine's already kind of split from just killing his stuff, so. And we're starting to mine out there, but that doesn't really matter.
Not enough minerals.
So, he's gonna get tired of us pretty soon
Not
here.
enough minerals.
And there we go, won the game. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but won the game, 0 micro at all. He's at the top of his bronze division, so not a bad player. That's it for my basic fundamental videos. They are labeled as Bronze League, but again, if you're in silver, you're in gold, you're in platinum, whatever, you're not hitting these fundamentals, you have to go back and hit them. It's really, really important to start with. Just strong SCV production. That's going to set the tone for everything else you try to do throughout the game. So me, myself, I've actually found some own improvements in my own play. My own fundamentals have been getting better just through making this series and focusing on Bronze League play. So anybody can get better doing this. It's just really important you're hitting those 50 SCVs every single time, as well as getting your natural down by 345. There's one game where I got it down at 347. Not happy, not acceptable, so we'll have to work on that. I did get it down at about 337 for the other 3 games though, so pretty happy with that overall. So for the next series of games, we're going to be looking at mostly Silver League play. One thing I do notice in Silver League, again, that SCV production is not there, so that means we need to add to it, not take away our focus from that. We need to make sure we're continuing to produce those SCVs. It's really, really important that we hit our metrics of 50, because that's what's going to fuel our economy and fuel our ability to progress and keep getting better. Doesn't matter how advanced and cool your build is if you're not hitting the basic metrics. So we're going to continue to measure our SP production. We're going to continue to measure when we take our natural. What we're going to add to that is just very basic racial grouping. Now what I mean by that is the type of walling I want to do and then the type of units I want to go for. That leads into the second part of the Silver League play, which is going to be building groups. Building groups are simple. Building groups are what you want to have on a specific set of bases. So things like, you know, having 2 barracks on your first base, or maybe 3. When you should be getting that factory, when you should be getting that starport, that kind of stuff, how you can support it. That's basically what we're going to be looking into for Silver League. Again, the focus is still going to be very much so on just having very strong basic fundamentals. So there's still going to be no scouting, there's still going to be no micro, I'm not going to be taking a third. There's going to be a little bit of tech, but I'm not going to be utilizing trying to get fast +3 or anything like that, because that's not very important yet, and that has a lot more to do with later stages of the game as you improve as a player. So again, we're going to be looking at metrics, and we're going to be looking at very basic kind of racial structures for our buildings and our building groups. I'll see you guys next time on episode 3. Just one last thing, I guess. If you do like the video, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Anything's good. If you think it's helping you out, awesome. If you do have questions, just throw them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. If you have comments, throw them down there. It's awesome. I like to hear from you guys. So, sounds good. I'll see you guys next time.